Hi everybody, coming back here to piggyback off the previous video discussing how we name notes in music. And I talked about the natural notes and how we use the first 7 letters of the alphabet to name our notes, and then octaves and how when a name of the note repeats, you still get the same sound. So I'm going to pick up where I left off. And I want to talk about the accidentals or sharps and flats in between the natural notes. In between most of the notes that you see listed here, there are these extra notes that we have. So in between C and D, there's an extra note. Between D and E, there's an extra note. F and G, G to A, and also A to B. There's this accidental. And we use the term sharp or flat to identify these notes. The sharp is the pound sign or the hashtag sign, and then the flat is a lowercase b. And very simply put, sharp means the note gets a little bit higher, flat means the note gets a little bit lower. And so in between the notes C and D, we have this thing that we identify as C sharp. And then between D and E, we have D sharp. F to G, we have F sharp. G to A, G sharp. A to B, there's an A sharp. Okay, and you'll notice that there's a couple of spots where I didn't talk about the extra note, E to F and also B to C. In between these two notes, or these different notes, there is no accidental. It's just the way we tune our instruments. And so there is no black key on the piano or accidental in between E and F, and also in between B and C. It doesn't exist. And so I'll talk a little bit more maybe in another video as to why that is, but just for now, it's the way we tune our instruments. Now, you also might have noticed that I didn't add any flats in, and this is where a term enharmonic spelling comes in. Okay, enharmonic spelling. It's when you have the exact same note, but you spell it or you identify it in different ways. And so if you remember, I said sharp means the note gets higher, flat means the note gets lower. So if I'm on the note C, let me get my highlighter here. If I'm on the note C and I move up to the next closest note, I would land on the note C sharp. But if I was, and then I would go to D next. But if I was on D and I go down or I lower the note, then I would also land on this in-between accidental note, and I could identify it as D flat instead of C sharp. So depending on whether you use sharp or flat, it has to do with why. There's reasons you spell it certain ways, and a lot of times it has to do with where the note's coming from or where it's leading to. So C sharp and D flat are in fact the same thing. Over here, D sharp to or E flat is the same thing. F sharp or G flat is the same thing. And then G sharp or A flat is the same note. Finally, A sharp or B flat is the same thing. And so when you add all of this up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You get a total of 12 different notes or chromatic notes, meaning that you're using all of the notes available to you. You notice I didn't double count the C because C at the octave is considered the same thing. So there you have it. Those are all the notes you can really have in Western music. Now, there are these things called double sharps and double flats, and again, it's another version of enharmonic spelling. I might talk about that in a different video, but I think that's enough for now. Please leave me a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.